Welcome back to Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 3, Chapter 97. Our revels now begin. These, your characters, as before, just like spirits, have melted into air, into thin air. And now they are such stuff as dreams are made on, while their mortal life is rounded with sleep. What day is it? Who knows? It's effectively a meaningless question here at the Forsaken Caravanserai, where the party materializes at the absolute height of noon in the unrelenting heat of this punishing desert. But, of course, they didn't just materialize, though, did they? Months of planning, weeks of travel, hardships, losses, and pain brought them here, where they now stand wrapped in desert garb. Your skin is raw and red, your mouths are dry, your head is pounding, you are moments away from heat stroke. And you're back at this nearly empty tomb. But this time, looking down, you all see the Vorpal scimitar scabbarded at Grip's hip, and feeling the outside of her filthy sack, best sentence ever, Dora can tell that the flawlessly cut gemstone is back in there. And also, you have a faint memory that in the darkness, while traversing the dead roads between worlds, there was the faint sound of a bell? Or was there? It's hard to say. But you're here. Forsaken Caravanserai, take 2. Everything looks like you left it. In fact, you can even see the lingering traces of your own footprints in the sand getting slowly scrubbed away by the winds out here. And as you materialize, as you look around and take in the setting, Dabwick is left reeling from the realization they just had either seconds ago or months ago before they left on this desert voyage. They can't quite remember. But while traversing the dead roads, they were given a vision of a truth from their life, a truth they hadn't been aware of, the truth that they abandoned all of their friends inside a painting in the infirmary inside the swamp. What's happened with Dabwick?
Dabwick makes a sound like a gasp, and it's the same sound they made when they heard the name Jamandor for the first time. And just this realization and emptiness. Suddenly the floor goes out, and Dabwick falls to their knees and casts bark skin on themselves and pulls their hood over their head to blend in as much as possible with the surroundings.
Are you all right, Dabwick?
Dabs.
Dabwick gets up.
I prepared a lot of cure spells this time, and I think I'm going to hang back a bit, if you don't mind.
That's wise.
Yeah.
Dora casts mage armor on herself.
And as Dabwick watches Dora cast mage armor on herself, Katie, tell us what Dabwick sees. How is Dora dressed? What is she wearing? Here's one thing that is starting to become clear to you now, your second visit here. You have a certain amount of control over your own avatar, your own lucid dream body. And in fact, I will go so far as to ask, is this lucid dream body hounded by the continual annoying hounding of Tima in the back of her mind?
No.
So you have no access to Tima this trip to the Dreamlands?
Yeah.
All right.
She got out last time
Yeah.
and stayed out.
Yes.
I failed that check.
Yeah.
So I think this time, despite her being useful
Yeah.
and having qualities that are very useful against things that use fear as a weapon, Dora can't trust her here because she remembers the warnings that Tima gave to Lols about powerful dreamers being able to change circumstances.
Yeah.
And Dora suspects that, well, not only that Tima is one of those people or could be one of those people, but that she herself might be one of those people. And it seems prudent to maintain some level of control over oneself here.
To effectively limit her own power to do so.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
I love it. Does she otherwise look like the Dora we see by day, or is there anything a little different?
I think she, Dora doesn't have another image of herself.
Right.
So I think, other than the stain maybe not being there.
The discoloration.
And
yeah,
maybe
okay.
the tattoo, which she can't see, she doesn't see these things, but I think they're not itching and it doesn't look there. And she's dressed like in, what a desert
Yeah.
nomadic person who lives in this climb all the time would wear, with lots of flowing layers and wraps and linens and things. So she looks like she belongs here.
That's so interesting. So of course this tattoo, which is sort of a daily thing the rest of you see depending on how she's wearing her hair, and usually I picture her kind of like Matt pictures her in book 2, which is kind of bound in a ponytail so that it doesn't get in her way, get caught on things. So you've got view of this tattoo, but of course it doesn't exist to Dora. She never sees it. So why would she imagine it being on her body when she appears here?
Because it has no meaning.
Yes. Great. So
It's not part of her.
her back of her is unmarred.
Yeah.
And as Dabwick looks over at the Gripper, now Grip had recently taken to covering his arms up to keep them out of the sun, but does this lucid dream body have these profane demon lord tattoos scrawled all over it? Is that so core to his identity that he pictures it, or are they different or gone?
He rolls up the sleeves, and he still has sleeve tattoos, but it is a solid blacking out of anything that was on his forearms.
No meaning, no specific markings.
Not a shit. It's literally solid ink across his entire forearms.
Okay. Anything else about his appearance that he is picturing differently?
His brand is gone.
His brand is gone as well. Okay.
I think attire-wise, I mean,
He's so
I don't know.
weird.
I think he's not as fixated on that, but maybe something slightly desert-ish.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah.
That and maybe next time there might be, assuming there's a next time.
We'll find
let's
out.
not count anything. But maybe there would be one more small thing. But I think a gradual, like his image of himself gradually being affected by the desert surroundings.
So a transition is beginning.
Perhaps.
Now, as Dabwick looks up at your character, Johnny, does Dabwick see Vic? Does Dabwick see Roni? Does Dabwick see Gull? Or does Dabwick see someone else entirely?
Fuck you.
That's right, buddy. Let's dive in. Who does he think he is when he lands here today? What's his headspace? What person does he want to be on this quest?
It's Vic,
Okay.
but it's I want to say almost like an older Vic,
Age-wise?
age-wise
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
And he's dressed in like very sharp white suit, like crisp, clean. Everything looks kind of immaculate.
Yeah.
And he's got a Verizian scarf, and it's red
What does that stand for?
Yeah, what does that mean?
for lust, long life, and inner strength.
Inner strength. Cool. And
I'm trying to. Is it like desert white suit, like Belloc and
Yes, like
linen?
so sharp looking though.
Excellent.
And as Dabwick is in this place where mechanically they have shed the crunch realities of their madness, but we know that that is still the headspace they're living in. How does Dabwick see themselves? How do they materialize here?
This, the slate skin effect of the bark skin spell for Dabwick turns them into this gray, cracked gray and blue. So I imagine they look like covered in dry clay.
Depression personified.
Depression personified,
Yes.
kind of flaked on the edges.
So this will be something, you all have a measure of control over, and I'll, sometimes I might remember to ask you, but also if you come in with an idea of how you might appear, we can't change the mechanics of what you're wearing because we know that mechanically you have what you were wearing when you went to sleep in terms of what you can do with it. But in terms of, you are manifesting an idea of yourselves here. And I think how you appear here may start to reflect either your experience or how you're thinking about yourself. I was thinking this week about 2 movies. Interesting to see if they have any meaning for you. We're all close enough to the same age, but movies that came out when we were roughly teenagers, we could have had very different experiences with them because, 3 or 4 years either way can have an impact.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking about 2 movies I have not seen since, but really had an impact on me at the time. They are Dreamscape. Do you remember that one?
Yep. Dennis Quaid.
Yep. And Flatliners.
Yes.
So I have no idea. I'm not endorsing either of these movies. I have no idea if they hold up. But one thing that they both contain, one is about essentially someone who's able to travel into dreams and then those dreams kind of follow him back to the real world. The other one is about a group of medical students who briefly kill themselves to kind of get on.
In order to experience those moments before death, before
Yeah.
the others revive them.
Yes, and then obviously it completely breaks them, and then stuff from beyond the veil follows them back. And there's something about
Messing with forces.
there's something about the tone of both of those movies of it's both exciting to be here, to experience this, the novelty of it, the wildness of it, and as you have this kind of first toe dip into how much can I control this, there's also this feeling of connected with the dimension of dreams. It's just pure chaos. And we know there are some guardrails on this particular little tiny subset area of it, but that the fear of not only just, wow, we just fought something that I moved past and it slew me. Things may be more dangerous or complicated here, but also how little you can understand what to expect, what you're going to find. All of the rules are off. There's the 2 of you with a whole bunch of knowledge skills. I imagine both of your characters find a lot of comfort in, even if I haven't seen this thing before, maybe I know about it, maybe I've read about it. You're in the land of pure chaos and infinite possibility, and the likelihood that everything you see and encounter may be a unique thing that you would never have heard of before is very high.
It seems like part of what we need to do here right away is learn what we can about how shit works.
Right.
Yeah. Which might mean testing.
Sure, like dying as an experiment to see if you even can.
No, that wasn't what I had in mind.
Vic looks up at the sun and sort of shades his eyes and then leans his hand down to reach and see if he can find an umbrella, like a parasol, to hold
to
up over
summon
his
it.
head.
He cannot summon something he did not appear with.
Okay.
But you are literally standing in the exact same space that you were standing in when you appeared here last time. So every time you use this ritual, you will always appear here. And now we've seen twice in a row, I can affect this a little bit way. So maybe next time you tell me on front you've got a parasol in your hand, and maybe you will. We'll see.
Excellent.
We're facing the building. Like I said, the building looks not only exactly as you left it, it looks as though you just left it. You're literally seeing the 2 sets of double doors that go into the east and west. Entry areas are open. The door to the guard room is still open. It looks like you were just here. What's the plan for today?
Seems to me that if there is anything left here of value, we need to find it and study it.
Agreed.
A question occurred to me listening to the Act 2 finale, which just dropped this week. Listening to it, Johnny had asked a question. I forget exactly how he worded it, but about the Dreamland's end. Our waking bodies back in the material plane, do they dream? Are they dreaming what is happening to us? And to piggyback on that, do we have a sense of, are we still dreaming God's dream when we come and visit the Dreamlands?
You have no idea what your waking body is experiencing right now. You did not wake up last time with dreams of, you didn't have like a memory of what happened and kind of a loose, faint dream memory of what happened. But you do know when you are here, I mean, your bodies are technically asleep, but you are not walking around with Jamandor thoughts in your head at the moment. Like you're not, like when you appear, it's not like you've got this bombarding, you're kind of also dreaming God's dreams kind of thing. You're in a different body, and you know that there is something psychophysical because you know there is a mental connection, but you know there is also something physical. You've got a seed in your brain, and maybe this body, while you're still of course connected to the Great Old One, maybe there's a muting.
That's not what I'm imagining myself with right now.
Yeah, right. But yeah, like that kind of constant sense of there's this thing chugging around in the background is not there in the same way. And I think Katie kind of put it as an intervention has happened. Like you are here in such a different way than a mortal body is supposed to be here. In fact, you're in a very dangerous way that kind of breaks all the rules. You have no protection from Desna, from what happens to you, and maybe you got a little bit of respite from Jamandor. I think that might be what Grip is feeling a little bit. Okay. It might not be accurate, but I think might find some comfort in it's less loud. It's less omnipresent. It's less. Is it still there?
Maybe Jamandor can't see us here?
Maybe.
Interesting.
Well, if the goddess of dreams doesn't have authority over this domain, why would any other god?
She has authority over it. It's just
not control.
Somebody could say Jamandor to Desna. That's all I'm saying.
Right. You have to assume she's heard it, because everything that could happen in a dream has happened in a dream.
Will happen in a dream.
Yep.
Is happening in a dream.
Has already happened.
Fascinating. That's all just to stall for the fact that what do we want to do?
Yes. Well done. Well done.
We need to search this place.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned about that fucking dining room that I ran through, and I don't know what I saw, but
you really don't. There were people
I heard
in it.
my voice though, right?
Yes.
Was that the cursed innkeeper?
It was the cursed bookkeeper.
And that's who we fought, right?
No.
Okay.
That was
You fought the guy that was stealing
Oh,
from
right.
the...
And there are many non-handed enemies.
I know.
That was a living dream, right?
An animate dream.
Animate
There
dream.
are so many different templates that are dream-based that you will slowly get introduced
So
to.
that's
Which is
not
the
the thing
thing.
that we would fight if we messed up the ritual.
It is
It
the
is.
thing that we would
Okay.
fight.
Yes.
So if we mess up
but
the
in the
ritual,
real world.
Yeah.
that thing comes to the real world and tries to kill us.
Yes.
That very thing, or one
Something
of those
like that
things.
thing.
Something
that is,
like
yeah,
it.
Gotcha. Okay. Gross.
Something with
Gross.
the same packet of supernatural abilities. It would probably look like something totally different.
But it would hit the same.
It would kill Dabwick just as easily.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to give you some gloom.
And anybody else associated with that ritual, right?
Every single person involved is the target. All right, so we've got these sets of doors that we know lead into the interior of the first floor. And again, there's still that stretch of the second floor down in the southeast quadrant where it looks like there is a room with a ceiling, and there's a long stretch of hallway or room that either doesn't have a ceiling or the ceiling has collapsed. It's not reachable from the ground, but there is this big old pile of rubble where the northeast corner of the building had collapsed. You could certainly climb up there if you wished.
And that's where Lowell's rooms were.
On the second floor, yes. And you know that you all got there through a set of stairs in the bookkeeper's room, which is that door that was open that Grip ran past at the end of his mad flight. That was the way to the bookkeeper's office. So you can reasonably expect, and I think you probably would have even caught sight of a flight of stairs on the east wall there, heading upstairs.
We came here for information.
Shall we bypass the dining room for now and head to that office and up as much as we can?
Do we want to try this big central-looking room that we never even opened?
There was a curtain closing off a room on the southern chunk of the room that first Grip ran past, and then everybody ran past to find Grip.
It's the old dungeoning theory of not leaving closed doors behind us.
Yeah.
And I will say you've found some pretty powerful magic items in every room that you've searched so far.
Speaking of, Vic, could you have a look at this?
I can, but once I look at it, I won't be able to look at anything else.
Want to give it a shot, Dabs?
Sure.
This is the finely cut and polished gemstone. When you cast Detect Magic, you get a moderate aura of divination off of it. So something caster level a little bit higher than you, somewhere between 6 and 11 probably. Give me a spellcraft check, see if you can nail this one.
12.
Unknown. Do you want to try to do anything with it?
Any theories?
Johnny the player thinks he knows what this is.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead. I'm If you want to try something, try something.
Dabs. Change into something else for a minute.
All right. Poof. Changes into a Bogart.
This is a weird place to test it out.
Yeah.
If it is what you think it is.
If it is what you think it is, then
Look through
what
it.
is true? Do you know what I mean? Dora holds the gem up to her eye and looks at Dabwick.
Dora is looking at a 5.5 foot tall frog creature, and as the gem passes the plane of her vision and she presses it against her eye, she looks through it and sees Dabwick's true form beneath the polymorph. I'm totally fine with a little meta-knowledge bringing in the fact that you now have a gem of seeing.
Oh my god.
When gazed through, it enables the user to see as though she were affected by the true seeing spell.
oh my gosh.
It can be used for as many as 30 minutes a day in increments of 5 minutes. So every time you use it, you're using up 5 minutes no matter how long you use it or not.
And does a use constitute, like, bringing it down? Is that the end of a use, or...
No, it's like active for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should hurry to the dining room now.
Yeah. Take a quick look.
Aye.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so heading in the western set of double doors on the entrance passageway, passing the old basin carved in the shape of an army of sleepwalkers holding this dry stone bowl over their heads. Making your way down the hallway past the 3 more dried wells, and you stand in front of the old curtain that Grip barreled through. I don't think that curtain is there anymore. So the group has gathered in front of this open portal, the tatters of the curtain on the ground, and you're looking through, and the walls are lined with shelves. There's 3 elegant wooden tables with stools of varying sizes, all lacquered in a rich black. There are plates and cups and mugs stacked on these shelves on the wall, all covered in dust, with the notable exception of across the way on the south wall, you can see this immaculate silver pitcher untouched by time. and you're using the Gem of Seeing, it's a pretty intense experience for Dora, Katie. Dora is looking into the room. I don't even quite know how to describe this, except imagine if Dora saw an infinite possibility of 30 different people in the room simultaneously. There's a little bit of a brain breaky, like there's nobody there, but the essences and the anger and confusion of whatever event broke this place has lingered there. And I think, this is not strictly in the nature of a true seeing spell, but I think she's going to come to an immediate conclusion that since they are there but not there, there's no creature there, but there is energy, there's something going on. And that would immediately conform with Grip's experience, which was nobody was there. Also, I was talking to myself, and I think I saw Vaticus. Oh, so you would see among the infinite possibility of people in this room,
Us.
At one table down in the southeast, you would see 5 figures sitting and talking close to one another. They all seem to be... It feels very conspiratorial. Like they're upset about something and trying to solve a problem. A towering, gray-skinned half-orc covered in spikes. You, swaddled in black wizard robes with Reynard perched on your shoulder. This middle-aged man in red leather covered in beakers and bombs. A lanky teenager like a goth nightmare. And a sinister-looking man in all black with his face covered in triangles. And it's a face... It is Roni's face, but it is the face of a stone-cold killer. Metatextually, it's the face that we know Gull saw briefly in that mirror 1,000 years ago in like chapter 7 or 8 or whatever it was, Johnny. And they're all talking to each other in low-heated conspiratorial voices. And you see like a cluster of 3 humanoid figures in black robes, and all you can catch are hints of their faces, but they seem to be dog-like and rotting and green, like a weird,
zombies?
sickly...
Kobold zombies?
Hold for a knowledge check at the end of this.
Okay.
At one point, you see a night hag, and she's got a heartstone hanging around her neck, and it is glowing bright red, and it's casting this sort of demonic glow up on her curved ram's horns. She is immaculately dressed. Her hair is immaculately coiffed. She looks full and flush and healthy. You have not yet seen such a night hag. At one table, as you're seeing all these flashes of images, you see what looks like 6 cats having a very serious conference. They're standing on the table in a circle, all facing to each other, and they're clearly talking, and they're arguing with each other. Yeah, so it's a riot of people and stuff. Let's see if you know what
No lols?
You do not see lols.
Interesting.
Let's see, what would that be? I got knowledge, religion to see if you can recognize these rotting green dog beings.
I don't have that.
If you can describe this to somebody else who can make it.
It's 24.
Vic knows what these are. These are ghouls from the plateau of Leng. Leng ghouls are far more powerful and intelligent than their lesser kin that haunt the graveyards of the material plane. They maintain complex societies, extensive warrens where they colonize vast reaches of the undergrounds of whatever plane they're on. They're shockingly erudite to the extent that all knowledge skills are class skills for all Leng ghouls, and any Leng ghoul can cast any spell from any scroll as if it had it on its spell list and automatically succeeds at the caster level check necessary to use the scroll.
Oh, I want to be a Lengul.
Well, and then also they're
Wait for it.
diseased And
There's one shoe.
so they don't give you ghoul fever, they give you Langhoul fever, which is even more hideous. If you think of like the standard CR of a ghoul being, I think it's 2, the standard CR is 10. So you would think of any one individual of these being more like powerful enough to potentially take on your entire party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. They are quite common
Thank you.
in the Dreamlands. They have vast, what's the plural of necropolis?
Necropoli.
Necropoli. They have vast necropoli.
I think it's
And
probably
what do they
Necropolises.
do / want?
They are people. I mean, they're all individuals. They have to eat flesh, but kind of like, think of them in the vein of like a Rycian vampire. They are cultured individuals with their own needs, desires, and wants. Some are driven by terrible, dark desires to do evil things. Some of them just want to read books and cast spells. But a function of their physiology, they gotta eat flesh. So, of course,
So are they evil or are they not evil?
they are not necessarily evil.
They just got to eat flesh to live.
Yep.
Got it.
And it's a good distinction, too, because,
Absolutely, yeah.
ghouls, they are, as we talked a little bit about, I think, was it you, Robert, that had ghoul fever?
Yes.
Briefly? Yeah. So what would have happened to Grip, essentially losing his mind and becoming driven only by hunger, that is not these ghouls.
happen to them.
Doesn't happen to them in the same way. They still got to eat it, but
If you get ghoul fever and then die, what happens to you? Ghoul fever.
you come back as a normal ghoul unless you had 12 or more hit dice, in which case you come back as a Langhoul. So basically, if you are a super potent personality, you get to come back with your mind. Otherwise, you're just a monster.
Probably somebody that smart, unexperienced, wouldn't get in the position of being bitten by a Langhoul.
Right. And again, remember, there are no Langhouls in there. There is actually nobody in there. There's just these echoes of...
Paint on the walls.
Yeah.
So I can try to purge this haunt.
That seems
Feel it's
useful.
necessary.
Yeah.
Very good. So Dora will summon her contempt. Picture Ray. Not as difficult since he's over at that table. And cast Purge Spirit on the room.
Go ahead and roll damage for me.
26.
Oh, boy. So what happens has got to be like straight out of a Raimi movie. The three of you, Dabs, Vic, and Grip, have not seen anything.
Right.
She's describing to you what she's seeing. The room is completely empty. She focuses herself. There's a blast of psychic energy in the room, and suddenly the doorway is filled with 1,000 screaming ghost faces stretching their arms out at you, yelling, "Kill them all! Kill them all! Kill yourself! Kill them all!" Thousands of individuals. You can barely process, like you can't even see anything into the room now. They're all there and not there. They're screaming and howling commands at you. Their hands are reaching out just like barely, like inches away from Dora's face, but they seems as though they can't pass the threshold of this room. They're still going though, there, Katie.
Yes, I think I need to do it again.
I mean, also when that happened, Vic jumped back.
Yes. Yes.
I hate this place.
The second casting was 22.
And with that, with this otherworldly howl of, you don't even get the blessed sense of thank you for releasing
Right.
us from this psychic trauma.
bad.
It's we will find you and kill you for this trauma. And they all vanish into the ether. You're left with this empty, strangely empty and still and dusty room. The only thing marring the dust in the room are Grip's footprints. As you can see,
The silver pitcher.
there is a beautiful silver pitcher across the way.
Detect magic?
Oh yeah, baby. It is It is definitely radiating magic, a moderate aura of transmutation, so some power level magic roughly equivalent with the Gem of Seeing. Give me a spellcraft check.
Johnny thinks he knows what this one is too.
You might.
Are we in the room yet?
Are you going in the room?
I go in the room.
Is it?
Ooh, a 27 on that spellcraft check.
Okay, so following Vic in and getting close to closely study the aura on this silver decanter with a stopper at the top, you recognize it as a decanter of endless water. Were you right, Johnny?
I was absolutely right. I almost was going to pick it up and dust off one of the cups and then pour it.
So, Paul, this is what Dabs knows this does. If the stopper is removed from this flask and the command word spoken, which you now know, an amount of fresh or salt water pours out. Separate command words determine the type of the water, as well as the volume and velocity. So if you say stream, it'll pour out 1 gallon per round. If you say fountain, it produces a 5-foot-long stream at 5 gallons per round. And if you say geyser, it produces a 20-foot-long, 1-foot-wide stream at 30 gallons per round. Now, the geyser exerts considerable pressure, requiring the holder to make a strength check to avoid being knocked down each round the effect is maintained. In addition, the force of the geyser deals 1d4 points of damage per round to a creature subjected to it. It can only affect 1 target per round, but the user can direct the beam of water without needing to make an attack roll to strike the target, since the geyser's constant flow allows for ample opportunity to aim. Creatures with a fire subtype take more damage, and the command word must be spoken to stop it.
How hard is that strength check?
DC 12, so not super hard for a strengthy person. We'll touch and go for someone like Dora and Des.
Dora would never attempt to do that. She'd be blown into the next dimension.
But also now we have fresh water.
Yeah.
You sure do.
Great.
And I don't know about you all, but I'm parched.
And I will, in fact, pour
Indeed,
myself
and I've
a
already
glass of
cast
water.
3 spells today. We've been here
Welcome
5
to the
fucking
Dreamlands.
minutes.
So Vic is able to play around with using the word stream and then getting used to this shocking amount of water coming out of it and controlling it, and how you hold it over these cups. But you can get some cups full and cleaned out and pass them around. And
Dora will, before she partakes, move around, just holding up the gem in case there's anything else to see.
nothing else to see in this room.
And then I'm going to consider that 5 minutes up.
Yes.
I have 5 more 5-minute increments for the day.
Who is taking the decanter of endless water?
Is it if we want to have the chance of, if we think we might want to use it as a weapon, it might be good for me to
Absolutely.
hold on to it if no one objects.
100%.
Do I use my +1 Vorpal Scimitar? Or do I use my decanter of endless water
The
to
Dreamlands
blast an
gift.
enemy into next year?
Actually, Dabs, when you turn into a medium-sized creature, what's your strength?
Yeah, my strength, I do get a strength bonus.
Goes up by 2.
It goes up by 2, so that would bring me up to a 14 strength.
I mean, that's also
That's a 50-50 shot.
not too bad. I'm a 10.
I'm not taking
Yeah.
it.
No.
I'm happy with either of you to have it.
It's a ranged weapon with no attack roll.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, that's it's low damage, but no attack roll.
I mean-
20-foot range.
That feels more useful for Dabs.
Yeah. Agreed.
Dabwick does have spells that are sort of similar to this, so it's kind of in their wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
That's fun.
All right, thank you.
You'll just have to use your Vorpal Scimitar.
Oh, wow.
Now,
wow.
here's my question, though. Since it can be used as a weapon, can you draw it as a weapon on the move?
No.
So it's going to be a move action to draw it.
Yes, that will provoke.
That will provoke.
Yep.
Great.
Because it's awkward.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear about that ahead of time.
I appreciate that.
Onward.
Onward.
Let's check out that big fucking room.
So heading out across the way and down to this long, narrow hallway that stretches most of the extent of the southern chunk of the building. We're gathering around the curtain into the one room you've seen nothing of yet.
Yep. And before we go in, I crack 2 extracts and drink them. And as I do, You see the little bits of dust flick off the shield that appears, and the other one I take out and I pour over Vanity. And it grows noticeably like
Heavier.
a little bit heavier in my hand.
That's so cool.
Oh, and so the nature of that extract is it changes the mass of the bullets when they leave the pistol. Is that right? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Vic, Dabs, and Grip gathered around in front of this curtain, and Dora, probably wisely, far away down the hall, 15 feet away, behind the gripper. Opening that curtain.
Let's do it.
All right. Want to give me perception checks first? See if you hear,
Absolutely.
smell anything.
Yeah.
Let me know what you get. Gripper.
19.
Vic.
That's a natural 1 for
Perfect.
an 11 or
11.
a 15
This
for
This
traps.
is great. Dabwick.
22.
Okay. So Vic parts the curtain, and beyond the three of you at the doorway there see a large bath chamber fallen into ruin. There are decorative tiles with irregular geometric shapes covering the walls, floors, and ceiling of this space, disturbingly distorting perspective and obscuring the room's size. There are 3 deep baths, 2 of which are currently empty, and one of which in the center, 5, 10, 15, like 20 feet in front of you, Vic, it seems to be filled with this kind of viscous, blackish liquid. Looks kind of like tar or pitch. And it is immediately disorienting. You can tell that all these tiles were carefully designed to make the room seem larger than it is from any point inside it that you stood, but all the crooked and missing and shattered and crumbled tiles have skewed the perspective in a very disconcerting way. I want will saves from the 3 of you as you feel your eyes swim and your stomachs churn from how the room seems to be kind of this Escher madhouse of warped perspective. We'll start with everyone's favorite will save maker, Gripper.
12.
Action point?
No.
Vic.
16.
Dabwick.
26.
Okay. So it's so disorienting. Dabwick and Vic hold their shit together. Grip immediately starts vomiting. He's so disoriented. He is sickened. Go ahead and turn that condition on. That's -2 to almost everything, including damage. And he feels real sick. Yeah.
Did you give me a duration on this, or is that to be...
I sure didn't. The first thing you all know is that it's not like 6 seconds of vomiting and then you're like, all right, let's go. You are doubled over, retching, your head is swimming. As I assume we have just sort of one round of reacting to the fact that this happened and making sure he's okay. It's still going.
Yeah.
What do the other 2 of you do that are at the door? And Katie, feel free to jump in if you want to get involved and see this stuff.
Should I look at it through the thing?
Or you want to pass it to me?
Gladly.
Can I make
Scampers down the
She
hall.
not on my
tiptoes around
shoes.
puke.
Can I make a knowledge, nature, or dungeoneering check on the black Harkonnen ooze in the...
Harkonnen ooze! Yes. I mean, totally still and lifeless, but that is exactly the feel. That's a perfect reference. Thank you. Yes, you can. And why don't the 3 of you give me a perception check as well, as now that you can see this space and as Grip has gotten used to vomiting.
Dungeoneering?
Dungeoneering.
Okay.
Was that another perception from me as well?
Yeah.
Even though I'm...
Yeah. You'll be penalized for it with
Yeah.
that sickened condition on.
Oh, wow.
So, Gripper, how's it go for you?
10.
And Vic, perception check.
29.
And Dabbick, let's start with perception check.
That's a 19 on the perception check.
Total.
Yeah.
Well, that's low for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Should I rub it in a little bit more?
Sure.
What about that knowledge dungeoneering check?
26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sweet, sweet, oozy knowledge.
I'm prepared to be the victim of your ire. As I say, you basically recognize it as what seems to be tar. Like, it seems to actually be tar.
Looking through the gem of seeing, does anything in this room pop? Or
Is
does
it
my brain
easier
explode?
to look at the room?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be way easier to look at the room. So no disorientation while you're looking through the gem there, Johnny.
That's why I got the 29.
So scanning the cone of the room you can see from out in the hallway, you have this immediate relief from the disorientation effect of the tile illusion that was made in here. You don't see anything that you don't expect to see, but as I look at where you've got vision on in this room, the southeast and southwest corners of this room you have no bead on at all. So as you look straight ahead, you see this still pool of sludge in this center bath depression, 2 empty ones to the east and west of it, long curtains. And the ceiling's very tall in here. It looks like this room actually takes up both stories of the building. So there's this like 20-foot tall curtain separating the 3 baths from each other.
So I've got blind spots above and to the left and right of me.
100%.
I mean,
They feel immediately obvious once you're looking.
And look.
You're going to step in and look?
Yeah. Alchemical torch in one hand, gem in the other.
It's so insidious what they just did to you. Vic steps. I hadn't quite processed just how cruel it is what they just did to you. Vic steps into the room, and immediately the pool of sludge in this, shockingly, right? The pool of sludge, which had been compressed down to 1/8 of its size, explodes out of this tub into a 15-foot wide, 15-foot deep, 15-foot tall conglomeration of, like, it looks like a shuddering blot of living tar surrounded by thousands of writhing tentacles, which begin immediately filling the entire room, and it forms this like dragon-shaped head as it rears up. Let me see if I got some art here for you.
You said it was tar.
And I was looking at
tar.
Yep.
it. Didn't roll high enough.
Yeah, it didn't roll
Not
high
true.
enough.
I'll explain once we see if you survive, and I'll also explain why it's so cruel that they just did it this way.
Whose job is it to be the punching bag?
Zoom.
Oh!
But you gotta picture that.
God!
Again, 15 feet wide, 15 feet tall, and instead of like 13 tentacles, there's thousands of them filling the air. Let me get a token on the map here so you can really appreciate in full glory how big this thing is. Y'all see it?
Yep.
Here we
No,
No.
because I'm down the
because
hall.
you're still out down the hallway. Everybody roll initiative.
I got a 23 cents motive with my initiative.
You cannot possibly surprise this thing. You had no idea what was even going on, Katie.
know what's going on.
No.
I'm just trying
Give it
to
up.
make a habit out of
Give it up.
rolling sense motive.
Oh, that's
when I
fair.
roll initiative.
That's totally fair.
Why would we try to surprise Tar?
Because it was just tar, right? He said it was just tar.
Yeah. But you rolled a 27.
Yeah.
So now that it has stopped hiding, I'll allow you on your turn to actually recognize what you're seeing.
Okay,
So we will
okay.
keep that amazing roll. I'm not going to screw you out of that roll. As fun as it would be to do
That
so.
was
Well,
a
I did have
29.
a poor perception check.
So it beat my perception check of 29.
100%.
Wow.
It's one of those creatures that has the ability to hold itself perfectly still, that it gets to take 20 on its stealth check. Yeah.
Wow.
Ambush hunter. As this thing appears, Vic goes, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I bet he does. I bet he does. So what did Vic get for initiative?
I got a 13.
And let's see, Dabwick.
18.
All right, and Gripper.
12.
Oh my God, you're still sickened. Dora.
14.
Okay.
Until you say I'm not.
How are we sufficed in this here? This is terrible.
All those tentacles sure do look like they got reach.
Yeah. Fuck.
This is so bad.
Yeah.
It is up first. The air is just thick, lousy with tendrils. Every single square in the room is filled with tendrils. You can tell it's pretty obvious from what they're just lashing around. It's definitely adding a deflection bonus to its armor class, and you can tell that it's going to be very hard to successfully attempt things like tripping and dodging and all that kind of stuff.
Something with 1,000 tentacles.
Or bull rush or whatever. But yeah, it's up. I keep putting off having to roll the die.
Just do it. Just rip the Band-Aid right off. And then
Here we go. First of 5 attacks.
Oh my God.
It's a bite attack on Vic, who is flat-footed. 35.
35?
But you have shield.
oh, that'll do it. I mean, honestly, my flat-footed is 22. That's pretty good. But still.
Let's start off with 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And it grabs you. Attempts to start a grapple action with its mouth as a free action without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Oh no.
Coincidentally. 35 on the CMB check.
Yeah, I mean...
8 more points of damage as you are crushed in its tarry maw. And then, as a free action, it attempts to swallow you with the fast swallow ability.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 28 against your CMD.
I'm going right in that thing's gullet.
Oh God.
Taking bite damage again. 3rd time you're taking bite damage.
We're not high enough level for this place.
14 more points of damage. Are you still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you all watch in horror as Vic is swallowed whole.
Literally, what's going on is going screaming, and then the sound just cuts off as he
It cuts off. All right, so we'll deal with it on your turn, but Johnny Vic is now inside this creature, getting crushed by inner workings of its digestive nonsense.
Right where you want it. Vic.
The grapple starts as a free action. The fast swallow is also a free action.
Oh my God.
It is no longer currently grappled, so it can still take 4 more attacks with its tentacles. Can it reach anybody? 5, 10, 15. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ooh. This is interesting. So Dabwick and Grip are both flanking this doorway. I think I got to be fair and say the angle is just too shitty with these tentacle attacks. So you are seeing 4 particularly thick tree trunk-sized tentacles shooting out from this thing, reaching at least 20 feet and going right past your face as you are hugging the wall around the outside of this portal. Dabwick, you are up at 18 initiative. What you gonna do, buddy? Things are going really well.
I wish I could share with you the screen from Dabwick's perspective is this real thin sliver into the room.
You can't see anything.
So I can't, I don't know. All I saw was Vic was there, and then Vic was snatched out of the air by something horrible that I saw Vic see, but I didn't see what it was. Right. And then these black tentacle things shot out the door.
You saw me go, you saw my eyes go wide. You
Yeah.
saw me go, oh shit, and then
shit.
literally, like in a horror movie, got wrapped in black tree trunk tentacles and just
Remember
disappeared.
the raft?
The raft.
Movie The Raft?
Right.
Oh yeah, the Stephen King story
Yeah.
from Creepshow 2.
So Dabwick is holding onto this pitcher and opens it up and says,
Geyser!
and steps in the doorway, aiming the geyser with their back to the wall
Yeah.
to brace themselves.
I'll give you a bonus on this strength check. Yeah.
As a free action, at will changes into a Bogart-sized medium humanoid to give a +2 to strength.
It is a standard action, my friend.
Oh crap! Okay,
Well, you had turned into a Bogart before, so you can still be one if you want to.
okay,
Okay,
There
I'm
we
fine
go.
with that. Why don't you move your token there, and then you catch sight of this thing. Let me check that DC 27 Dungeoneering check, because I think you do know some shit about this. Oh yeah, you do.
It's immune to water attacks.
This, to Dabwick's dread, is a formless spawn of Sathogua. Oh, do you have knowledge religion?
No,
Okay, so you
The only person with knowledge religion just got
is inside of
swallowed
it.
by it.
I think I know what's about the So
Would
Dab-
I have had the opportunity to try to have made a knowledge check on it?
you never got a turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
So no.
Answer is no.
So, Polly, I think from living so close to the edge of the swamps, you must have heard about these things, and all you would know about what Sathogua is you'd know a nickname, but you wouldn't know more. Oh, you would know he is also called Saint Toad, or the Sleeper in the Deep.
the sleep.
He is an elder god of outcasts and loners and the edge of the world. So this formless spawn, let's see, you really don't know much. You do know, I'll start with the stuff that you do know.
Know what you like.
You know that it's an ooze, which is terrible all around because it means it's immune to poison, sleep effects, paralysis, polymorph, stunning, not subject to critical hits, not subject to flanking or any precision damage. However, unlike most oozes, this particular ooze does have an intelligence score, so it is subject to mind-affecting effects. It's one of the only oozes in the entire set of monster manuals that is.
And that's what Dabwick would shout over the geyser. It's an ooze with a mind! Dora!
Would you be interested in... Well, you have seen demonstrated to you how fast it can swallow something.
Yes.
So why don't I give you a little tidbit about defense. You know that it has damage reduction 10 overcome by nothing, and that it has fast healing 10.
Oh my god.
And with that roll, I think that's about... I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more in this nature, because based on its ooze-like consistency, it is immune to piercing damage. So fortunately, Grip's at the place where he's not stuck using only piercing, but does not take any damage from piercing weapons. And then you open up the geyser there. Is that right?
That's right.
Oh boy.
Give me a DC. Give me a strength check, and because you've got the wall to brace yourself against, to give yourself a +2 on that.
Okay. With the +2, that's a 15.
All right, you manage to hold your feet, bracing your back against the wall as this boggart blasts a 20-foot-long, 1-foot-wide stream, 30 gallons per round, slams into the formless spawn. Go ahead and roll 1d4 points of damage.
That will overcome 0 damage reduction. 2 on the die.
All right, it seems unharmed. Dora.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's real bad, y'all.
I can't see it.
No.
Can I ready an action to target the tentacles if they come out the door?
With what?
Magic missile.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, if I'm going to amplify that spell, do I have to do it now or when I cast it?
When you cast it.
I'm going to also move.
Where'd you go?
Just back.
Oh,
Just-
even further away.
Yeah.
Understood.
I just don't want it to get me.
So we
Because
are
I'll die instantly.
we are now on Vic's turn, who is being crushed on the interior of the formless spawn of Saint Toad.
So before I even do anything, I get attacked again.
You start your turn by being crushed with 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Am I able to make a knowledge check of what I saw before this thing swallowed me?
Yes, roll it up.
right.
Dungeoneering.
All right. That is a 30.
Let's add to the fun here. You know that these creatures possess very high spell resistance, and they have resistance to electricity, 10.
So
And immune to acid.
So knowing all that,
Yeah.
and I'm down to 10 hit points. That thing just knocked 41 hit points off of me
Before you even did anything.
before I did anything. I think that my thought would be to attempt to leave the dreamland in this moment.
Oh, yes.
Because my other choice is to die, is to possibly fire the alchemical torch and then die. And I think in this moment my thought would be wake up.
Wake up.
And
These are not ideal conditions.
no, question is, do I want to take a chance and add 2d6? If I add 2d6 damage, it adds. It
So
lowers it by how much?
For each 2d6 to your waking body, you lower the DC by 1.
I get +1,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Same. And the DC is 25.
DC is 25. So you know how many hit points. Oh, I guess you don't know how many hit
I mean,
points
my
your waking
assumption
body
is
does.
that my waking body would have the same amount of hit points because the thing was, when we got damaged, we got healed.
That's-
Unless that's my assumption because that's what they said that they would do.
Unless something's happened. But yes,
But I don't know that.
you don't know that something's happened.
So
Oh, crap.
How much damage to your waking body, my friend?
8d6. That should give me a +4.
My
But I mean,
God.
that maxes out at 48. So if I rolled really badly,
Oh, I'm going to roll it.
oh well, if you roll really greatly, then for you, like that's what it would do.
I'll just roll it publicly in the... There. 29 points of damage to Vic's waking body, lowering the DC to wake himself up to 21.
Oh, my God.
Give me that concentration check, buddy. Wake up.
That's a 16.
Action point.
And what is it?
21.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to use one of these action points, and if I roll high enough on it, then I won't wake up with a lesser madness.
Come on.
You did 5 or
Okay.
6, right? Come on. You can do it.
Oh, God, this is awful.
Do it.
Oh,
You got this.
what will be, will be. That is a 6.
Hey! All right.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
Oh, God.
so
Oh, God.
Vic vanishes from this world. Not that anybody knows.
Oh, my gosh. My armpits are very sweaty right now. Oh, my back feels all awful.
All right, Grip, you are up. Still sickened. Let's also remember, too, that you're sickened.
I mean, I still haven't seen anything.
No, except for tentacles and the absence of Vic. I mean,
I've-
honestly, like right next to you, what Dabs is doing looks pretty cool. But the sadness on the froggy face of, oh shit, it's not doing anything has got to be palpable.
Yeah. I have heard all the information.
Yes.
I know it is futile.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say this out loud.
Oh my god, say it.
Say it out loud.
Like the inclination would be for him to step in and see what has happened.
Right. His battle brother.
Yeah, did you yell out like it got him, it ate him, or any like? You don't even see me.
No, we didn't see what happened. We just saw you disappear.
But then when you look in the room, like,
I think he ate him.
God.
Geyser!
This is totally useless.
And it's a full round to do the concentration.
It is.
And what is
It's so hard.
for a
Rob.
non-caster? What am I rolling?
So in your case, you're rolling +7. The DC is 25, and again, you can take 2d6 damage to lower the DC by 1.
Oh, this is bullshit.
Dabwick's looking at you out of the corner of their froggy eye with a little bit of panic.
Yeah.
A little bit?
A little bit of froggy flop sweat.
Oh, and the thing goes next too.
Yeah, sure does. Top of the round. Because it rolled 23 on
Because
its
it rolled
initiative.
23 on its initiative and was rolling 35s on its attack rolls.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, it
god.
was.
I mean, okay. I know he knows he can't do anything to this thing.
Right.
And this is I'm overthinking shit, but like I don't know if he would, without seeing in the room, if he would think, oh, we should go.
You feel like you have to at least get your character in the room to make that assessment.
But I mean,
You are allowed to move through ally spaces, so
You
you
can
could
walk through Dabs' space.
See what you see and get the hell out.
but I still wouldn't
choose from
be able
there.
to initiate it until. Does it? So we haven't
If
seen.
what you
we
need
don't.
right now is more information, there's a way to get more information without going in the room.
Yeah. So he's gonna at least start a move.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Still retching.
Roll20 is a treasure with this lighting. Like, it's just amazing. That was like the moment from
So
Signs.
is it's safe to assume this thing could not get out this doorway?
Boy.
It is not safe to assume that.
Oh, fuck
I think
me.
one of the things that Dabwick recognized was that it's able to compress itself down to
Oh right.
a bare fraction of its true size in order to lay still or move around.
All right. Well,
It's just
I
doing
think-
this for
so
convenience.
He does this. He passes. He sees the thing. He steps past Dabwick.
Yeah.
And
Probably vomit a little bit more there.
Probably vomits on Dabwick. I apologize for that, my friend. But
The water will clean it off.
it's all right. You've got just geyser yourself. Oh, fuck, that's horrible.
You hadn't even seen it in the room yet, have you?
Oh, yeah.
no,
Until
I
that
did.
point. Until that point.
No, this was my
amazing.
when I walked by and opened up
Like
into
a spotlight over the thing.
and so I know he's not there. He's not there. It's got a big mouth, right? It's got a big gaping maw.
Big giant mouth.
There's no noises coming from Vic.
you see
anymore.
like a little piece of like tattered whatever that's all in white that's like been
Still
that it's
falling
still
to the ground.
No, it's like in its jaw teeth things.
I think he would.
Bloodied.
Stop enjoying it so much.
He stops and he just says to Dabwick, "We've got to get the fuck out of here."
Polly is just nodding vigorously.
Yeah. Then I was like, so he had my instinct was to keep running down this hall, but I think as he passes by Dabwick, he looks down at them and he's like, oh. All right, he just goes into total defense and he's gonna wait and hopefully Dabwick can get out after this fucking thing goes next.
All right, so waiting just outside of the room there. Total defense. That all was round 1.
Jesus Christ.
Top of round 2.
What the?
Can Johnny the player ask a question?
Go ahead.
Having seen that, would you have tried to grab Dabs and just taken them?
Dabs is medium right now.
They're in Bogart form.
I understand.
I mean, that would practically be what? Bull rushing?
Reposition?
I'm assuming Dabwick wouldn't resist, so you could take that move action and then use a standard action to just get Dabs on the other side of you, as long
And
as
just-
Dabs doesn't want to fight back,
And I can close the pitcher
so nobody gets hurt.
so nobody gets hurt by the geyser.
I buy that. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, if you're willing to do that, I
Please.
would. I'm still
Please.
gonna say we need to get the fuck out of here, and then he'll.
There's a little do-si-do that goes on.
So then, where would we wind up? I
We'll
would
end up-
still be in this spot, and then they would just be one.
Yeah, Dabs will be on the
to the east there.
one to the east. I think I just moved on the map there.
Okay. Good call, Johnny.
Thank you.
I assume we're about to put this formless spawn in between me and you guys.
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it?
I mean, this feels so like an Aliens movie where, like, literally it's like, run! Everyone's like, fuck, shit.
Which direction? No, you're over there. The thing is separating us. Yeah.
And everyone's just running down hallways trying to get away.
All right, so the formless spawn sloshes forward to get itself so it is now completely and entirely filling the doorway right in front of you. It's not able to squeeze down and move through this turn, so it's going to take 4 tentacle attacks on you. Oh my gosh, all 5 attacks.
Do I get some cover?
You do.
Pew, pew, pew.
And
Yeah.
the total defense adds how much? Plus 4?
4. So as the worm/dragon-shaped sludge mouth comes out of the door,
Oh,
door
wait.
is-
I'm sorry. If I did that with Dabs, am I still able to take the total defense?
No.
Never mind. I mean, never mind the total defense. Never mind moving Dabs.
Thank you.
As Dora catches sight of the mouth going to bite at Grip, her ready to action goes off and magic missiles fly out, and you are using a
Taps
new...
into her phrenic
Yeah.
pool for a new amplification. It'll be totally wasted.
We'll find out.
But she is the missiles that fly forth are a little beefier than they used to be.
Like die 6 instead of die 4s?
Yeah, something like that. Focus,
Are they still void missiles?
force. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, give me that check against spell resistance.
No. It's an 11. So it probably has better spell resistance than that.
Strangely, it does. It is unaffected.
And I see what's happening here.
Oh god, yes.
I'm going to turn and move 60 feet.
Well, hang on though. It's not your turn. You just
Oh,
ready
right.
to action. Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it not? Oh,
Your standard
just
action goes
my
off.
standard action.
And now you will go before it next turn.
So after everyone else is left.
Yep. Here come those attacks. Robert.
Alien is like my favorite movie.
All right, bite attack.
Doing it.
Add 4 to your AC for the cover. Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, that's just a 19.
Well, that's a miss.
All right. Tentacle 1. Okay. 25.
Thanks to the cover, that's a miss.
19 again. Holy shit. Okay, there we go. 31. Yeah. All right. 12 points of damage as the tentacle slams into you. One last tentacle attack. Yeah, that's higher than that. Oh my god. Okay, another 10 points of damage. Bam, bam, bam! Black, sludgy, living tar tentacles are lancing through the open doorway.
Does it smell like tar?
Yeah, absolutely. And
He throws up all over again. Grip throws up all over
still
again.
vomiting.
It's the worst smell.
Dabwick, you're up. You are now behind Grip, and watching Grip getting pummeled
Oh, yeah.
by tar tentacles.
The concentration check for waking up is the same as my concentration check for casting spells.
That is correct. So what's your bonus? 12?
12.
12. All right. And again, you can also take damage. You can also take damage to your waking body if you wish to.
Right. All right. Move action. It goes down and around the corner
Out of sight.
and tries to wake up.
It's a full round action.
Oh, crud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy. You could take a 5-foot step to get at least a
Yeah,
little bit
keep
away.
moving if you can.
I mean, you could take a 5-foot step away from Grip and then try the full round action. to
Yeah,
wake up.
I think that's what I want to do. Is
Okay.
just get some distance and try to wake up.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, literally the idea of him getting pummeled and your response being to, like, crouch down away from and be like, I'm not here, I'm not
is not
here, I'm
happening."
not here, I'm not here.
Yeah.
You want to take some damage to your waking body?
Yes, I do. I will take 46.
All right. So Dabwick's waking body takes 10 points of damage. Okay, not too shabby. And the DC is now 23. Roll it up.
I rolled a 15 plus the 2 would be a 17.
Well, no, the DC's 23. So you got a 15 with a DC of 23.
15 with a DC of 23.
Can't make it with an action point.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I can't make it with an action point.
Okay, so it just failed.
Yeah.
Does that mean it failed forever? I just try again next round?
You just try again next round, take more damage to your body.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Grip is up, watching Dabwick and, oh my gosh, and Dora, you're in this horror movie where the sludge is between you all. You watch Dabwick crouch down like, okay, come on, go, buddy, and they're still standing there. Grip is right next to the thing. Just a little wall, an open doorway between you.
Little wispy curtain.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna take a 5-foot step.
Yep.
Just to put a little more distance.
Yeah.
And he's gonna start. Oh, how much damage? He'll take 8d6.
8d6?
8d6.
Here we go.
Oh god.
28 points of damage to Grip's waking body. And the DC is now 21. Whew. Give me a d20 plus 7, Robert. Oh, God.
It's a 16 on the die. Plus, so 23.
And Grip vanishes. Ooh. Okay, we're at the top of round 3. Dora, this is now your spot in the initiative. It is only you and Dabwick remaining here with this thing in between you.
Yeah, I take a 5-foot step. I only get one shot at this. I don't have that many hit points to spare. I am notoriously shitty at concentration checks. So I have to, I think I have the highest modifier maybe of anybody.
You do.
But I don't make them. So I'm going to take 6d6 and really hope that they healed me from the ritual and lower it to a 22.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to roll.
Let me give you some damage first. Only 18 to Dora's waking body. Oh, that could have been so much worse.
So my new max, I have to know this in case I fail.
Yep.
My new max is 23. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Far and away the best concentration
Yay!
I've ever rolled.
What'd you get?
A 30.
Oh my God! Yeah! All right.
Your fear was a strong motivator in that moment.
She is staring at Dabwick as she goes, knowing she is
Dabwick's now alone.
leaving them there alone.
And Dabwick also knows that if Dabwick dies here,
That's it.
it is a greater madness.
Greater madness.
Oh! Oh gosh.
I don't like these patterns of what's happening every 50 episodes.
It squeezes down to a size
Oh, no.
small enough to fit into the hallway
No.
and moves to close with you. That's its turn. You got one shot here, Polly, before it has a full attack on you from adjacent to you.
It's not worth taking the 5-foot step. It's just a full round action of please wake up, please wake up, please wake up. Dabwick takes 66 damage.
How many hit points do they have on the one level up?
39.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Okay, only 16 damage.
Okay.
66, so the DC is 22.
Come on,
Come
buddy.
on.
Wait for the kick.
Yes.
So 16 plus 12 is 28.
Dabwick vanishes. That is the end of chapter 97. We'll sort this shit out next time,
I
y'all.
swear
never
just done
Oh
with the
my
podcast.
gosh.
Again. Oh.
Oh,
I
my
was so
God.
ready to burst
I was
into
so sure you
tears.
were I was like, oh my God, that was awful.
Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's PAIZO.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at syrinscape.com. That's SYRINSCAPE.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music, composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and R.A., Paul and Shannon, Chris, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, J.H., the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration.
Click the tab. Click the skills. Can you find skills?
Yes. Did you find them? Click the skills. Find the skills. Find the skills.
Are you looking on your sheet?
Are you even in
Have you
Roll20,
tried
bro?
turning it off and turning it on again?
Oh, I didn't mean to click tell me more. God damn it.